Hey everybody, I wanted to share with you some thoughts and ideas I had and some action I took this last 2 weeks surrounding all the buzz you're hearing about the new show on Netflix called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. She wrote a book several years ago. She's actually written two. One about joy and one about the joy of tidying up and how to spark joy in your life. And I love what she does, and I love how she goes into people's homes and greets the home, and in some cases has invited the owners of the home to do that with her, and how she helps people to really decide what belongings bring joy to them or not. And about a week and a half ago, as I was watching the show, a friend of mine texted me the name of somebody who might just well be my new organizing fairy. I needed help. I'd been reaching out to friends and finding someone who had a passion for it, who could help me and would work within the parameters, of course, that we all have for things like this within our home. So my fairy organizer fell into my lap basically within the same 24 hours that I started watching the Marie Kondo show on Netflix, and I had already set a plan in motion for organizing. So as I'm sitting there and thinking about the plan and I'm watching the show, all of a sudden I jumped up and had an epiphany about what I wanted to add to the process, and that's what I want to share with you today. So what I realized was that I wanted the process of how I set up my home to go a little deeper in terms of how it served the feelings and the functions and the intentions that I had for myself, my home, and my family. So what I decided to do was to stand in each room. And the very first thing I did was to be grateful for all the ways in which that room had supported myself and my family and had sort of held us together. I also honored and acknowledged, I don't know if I honored, but acknowledged here, let me say, I honored what it had done, acknowledged that there may have been some bad times in that room. There may have been some energy that needs to let go. So then I gave it permission to go and permission to myself to restart the intention of that room. So then I asked to myself, what did I want to feel? What did I want to feel when I was in here? What did I want my family to feel? What did I want others to feel if it was a common room, like the living room or the dining room or the kitchen? And then I asked myself, how did I want it to function? How was this room going to serve us? How was it going to be a part of us, and what belonged in there? And once I figured out how I wanted to feel, how I wanted others to feel, and invite others to feel, how I wanted it to function, I could set an intention. I wrote those down on a big sticky note. They're about 10 by 10. And I wrote feelings, function, intention. And I went through and did this for every single room in my house, for every closet in the hallway, for my garage. I think I need to go back and do a couple like sides of the garage because it's going to function different ways. But I'm really excited. We have started the process, and I can't wait to share that with you. Next week, I'm going to be sharing sort of how we're going along and what's happening, but I want to invite you to do this process yourself. I've made a form that you can download right here to go ahead and do this process yourself. I invite you to take a stand in one of your most important rooms to start with. Thank it. Be grateful for what it has given you. Acknowledge if there's anything that you want to let go of, and then give itself permission to leave. Give yourself permission to restart. Ask yourself what you want to feel in the room. What do you want others to feel in the room? Even if you share the room with someone, say your bedroom or the family room or the living room, ask them what they want to feel. Invite them, if you want to include that in the feelings. And then ask yourself how you want it to function. Once you know how you want it to function, you can set an intention. So download the form and leave me a comment if you're going to join me in this journey. And next week, I'm going to share where we're at in the journey in my home and what's happening. Stay tuned.